we're here with the owner and founder of Shakarah. How are you doing, Maggie?
I'm doing fine.
Thank you so much. We did enjoy the food very much. Thank you for having us. Please talk to us a bit about the whole idea about your company.
So the whole ethos of Shakarah is African fine dining, predominantly West African fine dining, because that's where I originate from. I realised there's a gap in the fine dining market, and in fact in the African food market. A lot of people are aware, especially in London, given the cosmopolitan nature of London, they're aware of a lot of Asian foods from different parts of the world, but nobody's really familiar with African food. So you can go to, say, the West End, and you can get food from far-flung parts of the corners of the earth, but where it comes to African food, it's sorely lacking. So that's really my niche market. Is looking and creating African fine food, events catering, and events management.
And I must say, so far you are doing a fine job, because we had a lovely sample menu this evening. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm very happy. So thank you. And obviously your jollof rice, you did big that up to us before. Talk to us a bit about that and what makes it so unique to Shakarah.
Okay, so it's actually my mum's recipe.
Okay.
It's neither Nigerian nor Ghanaian. I'm not getting into anybody's squabbles. It's from Forest Gate. I'm only joking. It's actually my mum's creation. But the flavours, I've enhanced them through the influences that I have been in London. I've had a lot of influences. I brought up with a lot of people from the Caribbean. Big up my Jamaican family. But I've been influenced with a lot from my Asian friends, and from my Caribbean friends, to kind of evolve some of my African recipes. And obviously, being in London, you have a lot of fine dining restaurants. So the flavours and the fusion and the African fusion, and that has influenced the Shakarah mentality.
And that definitely did show in the menu this evening, because you had the likes of scallop, you had quail and all that kind of stuff. Is that what you wanted to do, get that traditional kind of food but mix it up a bit differently?
Yeah, we don't do that. Traditionally, our meats tend to be lamb, beef, mutton, goat. But I tend to use the authentic flavours, but use different meats. I tend to use game, a lot of seafood, and I've started to experiment a lot, especially around African fusion food, and experiment a lot around desserts, because we're not really big desserts in the African people of African, Caribbean, and African diaspora are not big on desserts. We don't tend to do desserts, and so drawing from the influences of Africa, the Caribbean, South America, and of course Britain, I've kind of combined that to create some of the lovely desserts that you had tonight.
And very well done, I must say, Maggie. And other than your famous jollof, of course, do you have a favourite dish of yours that you do?
Is actually is the quail. So that Cameroon and plum sauce that I did, that's
my favourite.
Yeah, that was the African fusion. Yeah, that's the African fusion. And that's totally my creation. Whereas the others are traditional sauces with untraditional meats.
I must say the plum sauce, that was my flavour. It's plum sauce. It wasn't too sweet, other than usual, and it had a just kick. So it was lovely. And what's the vision? Where do you see Shakarah going in the future?
Well, I've been quite lucky in that since the launch, we've won quite a few big contracts. So 2 years running, we've won One Africa, which was at Wembley Arena. Last year, we won the African Pride Awards, which was held at Montcalm in Mayfair. So we've run for such a fledgling company. We've won some major contracts. And of course, Hooray London, I partner with Hooray London. I've invested in Hooray London because it made sense strategically for an events catering to work with events management. So we team up to do minor events. But I do have a 5-year strategy, which I will not tell because my competitors are probably watching this, and they're probably going to start doing quail now, though they never did quail before. Yeah, so I do have, and it's to grow the business. There's a few opportunities and ventures that I'd rather not jinx by talking about, but watch this space. We'll keep in contact, so I will tell you. So yeah, there's a lot more that will happen within the Shakarah space. So yeah.
Well, after today, I'm sure you're going to do amazing. Your menu is delicious. You're beautiful.
Thank you.
And we wish you all the best. Thank you so much for having us today, Maggie. Thank you. You too. Thank you.